I've been with the department since 1988 in different capacities. I was a DARE officer or DARE instructor for 10 years. I live in town. My family's still in town. I went to the Silver Lake schools. I got a bachelor's degree in political science from Boston College in 1985, and I graduated from Anna Maria College with a master's degree in 1990.
Thank you, Lieutenant Splaine. But if I let you keep going, you're going to answer all of Sandy's questions. So I'm going to have her talk.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Could you share some of the best aspects of the department as it stands right now, and some of the things that you might want to do to improve it as chief?
Well, some of the best aspects of the department are the people. The people are your most valuable asset. And you always want to make sure you put the people in the right position to succeed. You don't want to ever set them up to fail. That was a multi-part question. What was some of the other things you said?
What would you do to improve it?
What would I do to improve it? I'd like to, well, right now we're kind of short-staffed. A few years ago, due to retirements and budget reductions, we lost several police officer positions. I'd like to see the reinstatement of a detective, a full-time court prosecutor. I'd like to see that we have more involvement back in the schools, both at the regional level, where we used to have a school resource officer. We used to have a DARE officer down at the elementary school, and that was, everybody thought, the greatest position in the world when it was funded through state grants. And as soon as the town became responsible for it, it wasn't supported as much, and eventually it was just let go. So those are the things I'd like to see.
Okay, thank you. What is your view on regionalization of the dispatch operations?
Don't do it. And I wouldn't want to be the police chief or the board of selectmen or the town administrator that would be responsible for regional dispatch. And only in Kingston, well, the consultants are going to be issuing a report, coming out very shortly. In fact, there's a meeting the end of next week about the findings of the report that are going to show for only about an extra $250,000, Kingston can shutter their police station and do regional dispatch. And, if you're in it to say that you're going to get enhanced service, and I suppose that's a wonderful thing. But if you're in it to save money, not so much.
Okay. Okay. What are some of the new techniques that have emerged recently in police work? And are there any that you think Kingston could implement?
I really don't know what a new technique is. I mean, everybody keeps talking about going old school and community policing and getting out and talking, to the public. For years we had, Officer Denny O'Brien on the department, and he was doing community policing before it was called community policing. And then when it got a new name, he would never take credit for that's what he was doing. He just never said that he did anything. But if you talk to the people, you actually know that that's what he did. So you can call policing, whatever you want. It's not really new. In fact, if you watch the old reruns of 1 Adam 12 or Dragnet, what they did in the 60s is what we're doing now. So, I don't know what a new technique is.
Okay. Have you worked on a regional team for any cases?
When I was a detective sergeant, we had the South Shore Sniper Task Force. We worked, the Rizzo murder was something that I worked with Dick Arruda on with the DA's office. Yeah, I mean, you're always, working, I remember going with Dick up to Bridgewater with I don't remember if it was an arson or if it was banks or, breaking into restaurants in the middle of the night, cutting the phone lines. I knew it would come to me eventually.
Okay. Do you have any experience with preparation of the police department budget?
Too much. Yes, I do. Those expenses are basically fixed. Whether you have 20 or 22 people in the department, the heat is going to be the same, the phone bills are the same, the computer services are the same, so you're always just looking, at expenses if you're going to cut a budget. People.
Okay, thank you very much.
Did I do okay?
You did fine.
Thank you. The towns that want to do regional dispatch or get involved want to be the host community. That way you get to take all the other towns' 911 money, and then you can better your facility. And then if it doesn't work out, you've now got the better facility, and everyone goes their own way. So, so everybody wants to host it.
Just one more thing, what skill or talent do you bring before us this evening that might put you a little bit above the other three candidates?
I don't know about a skill or a talent. I don't play instruments or anything. I just have been, basically mentored by Chief Rebello over the last 8 or so years, and he's allowed me to get involved in the budgeting. I've, taken more control over the injured on duty aspects and stuff, where before nobody was overseeing if somebody got hurt, coordinating with the insurance company, coordinating with the doctor's offices. I'm kind of, I guess a department expert on cruiser maintenance. I can tell you what size brakes go in what car and what size tires. And if there's an issue, I can tell the dealership what I suspect the issue is, because if you got 10 cars that are the same, you kind of run into the same problem over again. And they told me if I didn't get the job tonight, I could always go up and be a service manager. I know about generators.
I just have a couple of things. Most of my questions have already been answered, so I'd like to talk a little bit about this enhanced service you get from regionalization of the dispatch. What exactly are they talking about? What's the enhancement?
Nobody can really define it.
Obviously, Kingston has a problem. We've got too many good candidates for police chief. I have worked for the last 8 years with all 4 of the candidates here tonight. They're the part of the job that I'm going to miss the most. They're great people. They've done a great job for the community. And as you can see, the caliber of dedication and commitment from all the candidates are certainly the highest level. That being said, I need to make a recommendation, and of all the candidates, like I said, they're top-notch. But the one that, to me, excels as far as administration of the department and who I feel will be the best fit as the next police chief would be Maurice Splaine. He has been my right hand for 8 years. He has come along as far as the administration of the department, and he knows every facet of the department, every nut and bolt on the generator to every nuance in the labor contracts. So I think he's the full package. I think all of the candidates bring something to the table, definitely, but I feel he's got all the components necessary to fill my shoes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Yes.
Maurice Splaine is the new police chief of Kingston.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
I think all 4 guys are
Comment from
more
Sandy.
than qualified.
I'm sorry, Dick, go ahead.
They're all more than qualified to be the chief. All bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to us, and I appreciate the chief coming in and giving us his recommendation. It makes the selection a little easier.
Any other motions? Any other recommendations of the board?
I'll make a motion for Robert Wells.
Well, again, if I was to second that, it would be for discussion purposes, and I would reiterate my long-standing friendship and great admiration for Sergeant Wells and his work.
So is that a second?
Yes, for that purpose. I would not want that to go unsaid. But the chief's recommendation notwithstanding, makes this a very, very difficult decision. Accordingly, I wish that
Well, they can't both be chief, so.
he's already gave us his vote. This board has to come to a decision. I saw that.
We have to ask for a vote. We'll come to a decision,
Okay,
right?
okay. All in favor of Maurice Splaine?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain, Sandy?
No.
Based on the recommendation of the chief, I have to cast a vote for Lieutenant Splaine. All in favor of Sergeant Wells?
Yes. Abstain.